if there's some background noise, we've got a nest full of baby birds right outside the shop here, so you might hear some chirping. It sounds like there's a million birds out there. There's quite a few, but yeah, there's a whole nest of baby cardinals out there, so pretty cool. But yeah, quick update on the convertible here. If you're not familiar with this car, April or so a year ago, sorry about that, April a year ago I got this car. It's promised to my wife. I'm going to try to redo it for her. Give you a little backstory on it. I found it in South Georgia. Still had a 1983 registration and tag on it, and it was a barn find. Engine wouldn't run, which is kind of unusual. Usually I can pull about anything out of the weeds and get a Volkswagen engine running, but this one would turn 355 degrees and then stop. And everything that I can see on this vehicle now, it's a 1969 convertible, so it was put in the barn and parked in 1983. So in theory, it's a 14-year-old car, and kind of unusual. It's not very old these days to see a car go off the road. And when I pulled the engine out, everything was in place, which is quite unusual. Nobody had monkeyed with anything. Everything was stock, including down to the throttle cable still had the screw instead of a barrel nut. All the heater boxes were intact. The thermostat system was still intact on the engine. Everything, as far as I can tell, is all original. 81,000 miles showing on the odometer. And what I found, if you haven't seen my prior videos, is the piston actually ingested a sheet metal screw that fell off. If you're familiar with convertibles, they have a drain pan in the back deck lid for catching the rainwater where it comes through the vents for the engine. And this appears to be the missing outside screw. Fell down piston number 2 at some point in time when they're, I can only assume, doing a tune-up. And back in 1983, they cranked it up. It locked up, made a really bad noise, I'm sure, and didn't run again. So I truly believe this is an 81,000 mile original vehicle that was parked in a barn back in 1983 because of this. So I did a top end tear down rebuild on the engine. The bottom end was beautiful. The whole engine was beautiful. Put new heads on it. Got it all back together stock. Put pea shooters on it. So it's going to be a beautiful engine stock the way it is. And I'll give you a little tour of the car for today's video, since there's not a whole lot else going on right now because I'm waiting for parts. So yeah, it's ugly. I've basically started painting it in sections. I'm not going to go into my paint system and get all the controversy going on that, but I've got about half of it for the most part, or at least 40% of it painted already. What I've got left to paint is this center section, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of walk around and show you. Even down here where I've started stripping, you can see underneath the undercoating is beautiful metal. Not a whole lot of body damage on this at all. The apron's bent, and I've got one to replace that. You really can't tell on the video, but it's pushed in like they get pushed in. So we'll replace that. I'll put tar boards back in it, clean everything up. The original color is that, I'll have to look it up and get the color code, but it's that really light yellow. Somebody can post up if they know what they call it. Somebody's painted it white on the outside at some point in the past. I'm actually going to go back and paint the entire car white. It's going to get red interior and salt and pepper carpet. Minimal rust anywhere, even down to, I got to show you these heater channels and door sills here. When was the last time you saw one that was that nice? Really, really nice. Doors are solid. No rust in the bottoms. The only real place besides the floor pans, this car, by the way, is actually, it's unbolted from the pan already. I had already started taking it apart so that I can paint the body and then have the pan ready to go. So that's coming. I'm going to finish painting the body, lift it off with my car lift, hang the body up in the air while I finish up the pan. Back here in the back, look at how nice it is behind the back seat area. Some of the areas that rust on these convertibles, everybody knows. Underneath where the wood bows are, back in the back under the window, and it's beautiful. And this rear luggage shelf. So the only really rust spots I have, I've got two that I'm gonna have to really work on here. And they're right down here at the very lowest spot in the luggage panel area. But the rest of it is so solid that I think I'm going to be able to just patch those areas, weld in some sheet metal, and leave it. Again, the lowest area of the vehicle always gets the rust. This is, if you've watched my video on restoring chrome, this is that piece of chrome I was kind of toying with the lime away. Here's the dash. I haven't really taken any of that out yet, but it's coming next, so I can paint it. Like Sapphire 11 radio. It was missing the glove box door, which is kind of bizarre, but I've got another one of those now. But even across the top, you can see how nice. A little bit of surface rust right here in the windshield area, but no holes or anything. I'll just treat that. Trunk area, also really nice up front. You can see underneath the fender wells. It might have had a little tiny tap in the front, which is kind of natural on a car this old, but it's not too bad. I can see the paint chipping away there. But you can see the body stamp numbers. If I can get it to show up on the camera here. There they are. Matching numbers, car, engine, and everything I believe to be original. Wiring harness is in great shape. Still got the cardboard glove box. It's in beautiful condition. I've even got the cardboard luggage compartment liner, the original one, that's in fantastic condition. Like I said, treat the areas that need to be treated. All this body works can get painted white. But even down this side, I've started kind of stripping it. And the only thing I'm really running into here, somebody at some point in time filled the molding, the trim holes. So I'm gonna have to go back and dig all that out, and basically get it back to where I can fix that and smooth it and block sand it. I had one rear window back here on the passenger side rear where the hinge was broken for the pivot on the rear window, and I've got another set of window glass. The top, let me see if I can change my camera here. Hold on. There's the Baja hanging up in the air. The top for the convertible had been removed and stored outside while the rest of the car had been stored inside. So as you can imagine, the top frame was frozen and rusted in place. It was in terrible condition. And if you want to get your feelings hurt, go try to find a convertible top frame for any Volkswagen Beetle except for maybe Super Beetles. And wow, they are pricey. I think I got quotes anywhere from $700, $800, $900 up to $1,900, $2,000. And I'm sorry, but not being a rich guy, I'm not paying that for a convertible top frame. So I started hunting around, and I found one on eBay in beautiful condition, and I think I gave like 350 bucks for it. So I'll give you a shot of that here in just a second. So here's that convertible top frame that's just kind of hanging out. I really haven't even unpacked it since I got it delivered out of the box off of eBay. Sorry, it's crammed in here in the corner behind my mop bucket, but usually the areas that rust out, everybody knows these mounting plates for the header bow are typically rusted out and in terrible shape, and you can see how beautiful this one is. So I'll repaint that. I'll check it all out real good. Of course, I'll have to put new pins right there and the alignment pins in there, but if you look, the mounting plates are just fantastic. The whole top frame is great. Everything works, all the pieces are there. So here's the engine for the convertible. Apologize I can't get a really good shot of it. It's on the shelf in my shop here, and if there's any such thing, I've got too many projects going on at once, but yeah, it's already been rebuilt. It's already been run in on the floor. It's pretty much ready to be reinstalled. Just go recheck everything. I come over here every once in a while and turn it over. It's got oil in it, but I turn it over every once in a while, but it should do really good. It runs beautiful. So there's all my seats and parts and pieces and things in the shop here for the convertible. I've even already got a top. I found a top that somebody bought and didn't use, so I got a really good deal on that. If you want to get your feelings hurt, restore a Beetle convertible and have to buy those wood bows. So these are actually not in too bad a shape. let's see if I can find the header bow up here. So yeah, there's my header bow. It's I don't know. Post up and tell me what you think. Let's see if I can pull it out of here. Do I reuse this thing or not? I mean, it's in pretty good shape. It's got a chunk missing out of it there where there was a knot in the wood, but it's really pretty much all there. I think I could patch that one area. I don't know. I'm not trying to be cheap on my restoration, but what do you think? Super expensive. If you've priced any of this wood, basically any section of wood in the back, and there's multiple sections, and I'll just show you. I'll walk over here. Now obviously I'm gonna have to replace these that are the rear tack strips, because that one in the middle is, I don't know what that's made out of, but it doesn't look the same as the others. So maybe I can piecemeal it and still use some of these, and some I'm gonna have to replace. But basically what I was getting at, any of these sections, you're looking at $300 to $400 a section for the wood bow. So it'll definitely hurt your feelings if you have to buy any of it. And there's another tack strips, these tack strips at the bottom, you never see them, but they hold the bottom of the headliner. So there's one on each side, and there's one down here. See if I can get a shot of it. There it is. So post up your comments. Do I replace these, or do these look good enough to use? And if it was your vehicle, I'm not selling any of these. These are my own. That middle one I'm sure I'm gonna have to replace, but the outside ones, do you reuse them? Good question. I'll put new cables in there, obviously. But tell me what you think. So that's about it for Double G's Garage. Not a whole lot going on today. Just a quick update of where we're at on the Baja. It shouldn't be too long. I'll have that back on the road, ready to go. Kind of excited about the convertible. I think that's the first time I've really done a good walk around on the convertible to kind of show you what it is and what's going on with it. Maybe once I get started on paint, I'll go back and give you an update on what my system is, what I'm using to paint it with, and hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get going on the paint job. I'll try to film all that. Some of you will be a little surprised at what I'm using for technology and what I'm using for product to paint it. But again, I'll just leave it up to a future video, but you'll see what we got going on there. Anyway, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.